He bathes me until I forget their names and faces. I ask him to look me in the eye when I come home. Why do you deny yourself heaven? Why do you consider yourself undeserving? Why are you afraid of love? You think it's not possible for someone like you. But you are the love of my life. The love of my life. The love of my life.
Namaste, gods, goddesses, and emissaries of light. This is Dr. Shreya Tayen. If you're new to my channel, please hit the like, subscribe, and do not forget to hit the notification bell so you can be updated on my latest and my current videos. Oh my goodness, you guys. I have so much that I want to get out on this reading that I know that I am not going to be able to get everything out. I am having a mental constipation right here. Okay. I have a traffic jam in my mind. I hear you, Divine Feminine. Okay. First and foremost, I wasn't supposed to get into your reading or upload your reading until later on this evening, like tonight around maybe 9, 10-ish. But you guys are hurting so bad. You guys have been coming to me crying about this journey and how you have put in so much and it's like you're getting nothing out of it in return. You're feeling so drained. You're feeling like you've been chewed up, spit out, and ran over and bulldozered over. And you are just at this place where you're just in pain and agony. And I feel your frustrations. Don't think for 1 second that sometimes I don't cry, okay? I am a person with feelings and emotions too, and I still think about my divine masculine, okay? I still am very much deeply, madly in love with my man, and I know what you're going through. I know what you're passing through. I know what you're experiencing. I am just here to let you know that the reason why it hurts so bad is because you're holding on with clenched fist. Let go. Open up your hands. What is yours is yours. No one can take your man away from you. No karmic, no demon, no devil. Nobody can take what is made in heaven, will be made manifest and known on the earth. Don't you feel the words of what Beyonce said in Love Drought? That he will basically make love to her and fuck her until she forget the faces of the women that he had messed around on her on. Read in between the lines, people. There is always someone out here that can top your story. When you just thought that you heard it all, you've seen it all, there is always someone else that has gone through and is going through much tumultuous times than you. And they are strong. Look at Beyonce. She is strong. And no, I'm not idolizing her. For God's sake, people, get off of this Illuminati shit and get off of this bad pessimism about these stars. They are people with feelings and emotions just like us. They're no different than us. They bleed the same just like we bleed. They have people that they love that die and they lose in death just like we do. I only make reference of hers because, one, I know she's a twin flame, her and Jay-Z, and two, I know that she has been through almost or even worse than what some of us have been through when it comes to dealing with her twin flame, okay? But this song is so much relatable. I hope you can relate to it. Let me go ahead and get into this reading. I'm going to call in some help, and then I'm going to spray my Kit Karma in the ass spray. And we're going to get into this beautiful reading, okay? I call in all 6 elements. I call in air, fire, water, earth, spirit, and ether. And I also call upon the highest of the highest of the high, which is Yod He Vahe, to be able to give me the information that is necessary in all directions, time and space, past, present, and future. And so it is. All right. With this first card, you have the other world. And with this first card laid down, with the other world, right now, you're learning to deal with the cards that have been already played. The cards of life that have already been laid down before you. And you are coming into a deeper understanding of self as you raise your consciousness. You're coming into a new awareness even about this journey. This is now a time when you are passing through a veil that separates the worlds. And what I mean by that is that when once all was clear and life felt so stable in your relationship, you felt grounded. Now things are taking a turn and they are shaking of the firmament in your life and a shift in your reality that makes you feel at times as if though you are living in a walk in hell, that you are in a waking dream that will not cease to end. What once seemed solid and concrete before is no longer to be relied upon. And throughout this time, you may be suffering elements of physical illness or feeling elements and aches and pains in the body, in the physical self. And this new moon has really done a bang up job on the divine feminines that I'm speaking to at this moment. And this is just a time when the thin boundaries between the worlds have dissolved for you. And there is a raw and unfamiliar energy that has been added to your world. And when that does take place, we can sometimes feel physically ill, or we can suffer from a great pain of loss of our vital energy force, which I know many of you are experiencing. And then we begin to feel like we are losing our connection with our minds, like if we're experiencing some type of mental conundrum and maybe we are feeling a disconnect from our senses. But just know that all the while, when things are strong, they will become stronger. And when we suffer, we can begin to forget who we once were. And to me, in some way, that serves its own purpose. And at this time, it seems to be working out for you for the highest good and the greater good of all that is involved. Sometimes we have to lose ourselves in order to find ourselves. And you are now a walker in between the worlds. And at this time, being apart from the reality others seem to dwell in is going to bring you the greatest wisdom, the best knowledge and compassion and spiritual insights that there ever was to be had. This is a time that will serve its own purpose and its own time. And in this own way, there's going to be a breakthrough for your soul, which is very much needed and required in order for you to take your next stage onto your journey. Look for your humanity. I know that it's being challenged indeed. I will give you that much. This is not for the faint of hearts. I made a post about that yesterday. Only the tough will survive in this journey. Next, you have the Weaver. This is fated destiny. You were made for this. This is not above you. This is not beyond you. This is who you are. This card is showing up, the Weaver, to let you know that you have inherited certain aspects of your family's honor, and the actions of your ancestors have had a ripple effect on your life. And you have now the opportunity to work through some of this. And I know that it's impactful, but I know that it's going to impact you with strength and nobility. With this card, it's showing up to let you know that you have your work cut out for you. There may be more work that's yet to come. So please do not give up now. You do have free will. You always have had it. But just know that this is part of your destiny. And the two will dance together and form a pattern that is unique to you. And this is your contribution to the web of the bird. Every action has an impact. It's Newton's law. For every action, there's a reaction. Every choice will create results that are impossible to see now, but in due time, you will see why all of this had to happen the way that it did. So consider the two choices that are before you and choose what is the highest good of all. Ask yourself, what is the most honorable thing that I could do beyond something that is personal? Ask no person to give up their personal honor to further your own ambitions. Consider the impact of your choices into the future, and consider the ancestors and what they would feel about your choices. You should choose well, for you are weaving the world that was, leaving the present moment that is now weaving the world, and it shall be left here for our children, that you will often leave behind for them, for those of you that have children. Now, mind you, I know that I have said this and I cannot say it enough, that this reading is not for everybody, but for those that it is for, you will know who you are. You see, what happens to one of us happens to all of us. For 1,000 will go forward and lead 10,000. Every act vibrates throughout the universe in this great energetic web, and we are, in every moment, with every word and thought and deed, contributing to this great grid of energy. It's called the field. And each thought and emotion and expression impresses this field and brings about our reality. So choose your words and your thoughts carefully. With the fairy Norn, this card is calling you to have patience when it comes to planning, and cooperation is needed at this time. It is now time for you to be considerate about what you're doing and what you say. Here we go again, second card right behind the other, to remind you to watch your thoughts and your speech, your words and your deeds. Ask yourself, what patterns of your life are you saying? What are you repetitiously saying to yourself throughout the day? It is time to do something small in a very precise way with the very things that you do on a daily basis to increase stability that you now need in your world. It's time for you to tie up all loose ends in your life, all of them one by one. This card shows up because there's some type of clutter, some type of chaos about you. And I'm not here to put you to shame or to blame, but there's no blame here. For all of our lives can sometimes be filled and lived with such things that we hold on to that we need to let go of. But your job now is to begin to tidy up your life in such a way that it starts to shape it, make it, and form it into the very thing that we want in order to bring about a more contained, more organized, and somehow a more controllable and more freedom of our lives. And when you introduce this, the order that you bring about, the chaos can no longer eat away our precious reserves of our time. And it is now time for you to have very clear intentions on how you're going to go about doing this. You're entering into the next stage of your life, and you know what must be done at this now moment. So carefully, precisely, do whatever it is that you need to do to set those clear intentions, because they're going to bring about the next development into the new life that you're entering into. You're dealing with a lover that has been enchanted, that has been caught up into a spell. This card is for those of you that have been given your all to this current situation. You have done everything that is within your power, and yet to no avail, your lover has not returned. Well, I'm here to assure you that there is nothing wrong with you. It's not your fault. You have discovered that you truly do have the power to create what you want and what you need in your life. So please take time out to contemplate just how these miracles have come about, the coincidences and the connections that have brought you to where you are now. I wouldn't say coincidences per se, but for those of you that are familiar with that word, I would replace that with synchronicity. There is so much to be considered, to think about, and to bring your thoughts into such a way that at this time, you're having these feelings of intense emotions, but they're here because they are creating the next steps in your life in which you should take. Draw onto them into yourself. And as you draw them to you, you're weaving and creating your future. And do not allow your current lover's enchantment and the spell that they are under to sabotage you or hijack you from your purpose and what it is that you are supposed to be doing in this life, from your life purpose, from your walk. And trust me, for the highest good of all, soon the intensity of it all will ease. Balance shall make a return into your life. And it will take on something that is a little bit more familiar, a lot more normal again. And just remember that this too shall pass. You have been brought here because there is something that can absolutely be done about it. Do you realize even the magic that you possess within yourself? You can never return to who you were before you started this journey. So you might as well continue. Trust me, you don't know how many times I wanted to go back, only to realize, what was I going back to? To go back is to ask yourself to go back to sleep. And now that you are awake, you're going to be troubled in your thoughts until you do what it is that you need to do. You are forever changing and becoming more magical by the day. There is no coincidences in this universe, just as well as there's no coincidence that this card was drawn for you. And I recognize that all things happen for a reason and for the greater good of all that is involved. Just know that as you raise your vibration, no spell work, no voodoo, no enchantment could ever take you away from your twin or catch you or your twin in its web. In the meantime, please refer to the description box for my services because I will help. I am here to help. That's what I'm here for. I also ask that in the meantime, in between time, that you raise your vibration, because as you raise your vibration, your twin's vibration will raise as well. Oh, goodness. All right. So with this card, this represents the ending. There must be an ending, and it must come soon. You have stood between the forces of destruction for some time now, believing that if you just hold on a little bit longer and maintain what is seeking to end, somehow, some way, it won't come about. But I'm here to tell you that you have to be strong and do the right thing. And you know what to do. This card is coming because it is Ragnarok. And it represents the end of the world, the end of the world that you once lived. This is your Armageddon. The world that you once knew about has ended. And while this card speaks of earth changes, it could be cataclysms, it could be land, sky, or air, it must truly represent the end of one time of your life that used to be your reality, because this cycle is nearing. And not only is it nearing a completion, it must end in order for the new beginning to be ushered in. And what is awaiting you, it needs to be given space so it can enter, so it can flourish. And everything has its own time. Every tree has its own time to fall. And please know that you are neither weak nor are you a failure for letting go and letting this end happen. It has to happen, honey. You have to let go, because holding on is taking up all of your energy and it is draining you. And when the finality that you are hoping for to avoid is only going to delay you from this renewal of truth, a raw primal moment when you can become your own true self again. Cease exhausting yourself no more by holding on to what's already gone. You cannot stop what seems to be destruction because it has already taken place. What you're about to get ready to face must be faced. You have to go through the hard times. And remember that the hard times will soon come to an end. But it will bring you so much more richness, so many more blessings, and opportunities that you had no idea that were waiting for you. Let go. Let go, my friend, and cease your quiet suffering no more. This card is here to tell you it wants to let you out of your pain. It wants you to rest. It wants you to get sleep, allowing you to return to the spirit that is more daring and more strong and that is ready for its rebirth. Because after life, there is death. And after every death, there's rebirth that is to be had. It's time for you to rise like the phoenix that you are. It's time for your rebirth. With this last card laid down, you are reconsidering. You are recovering. This is time for your comeback and your revival. There are so many of us. There are so many who walk among us who have healing capabilities, and you are one of them. This is the reason why this card has presented itself to you. And it comes to you because you're being offered the assistance of the 11th touch, a healing touch of energy that transforms to you some kind of gift of immense good health, which aids you immensely and immediately at this now moment to help you recover. The transfer of magic energy from the elves who offers you a spark of vitality, the luminous quality that helps us to awaken each day refreshed and anew, ready with renewed enthusiasm, vigor, and optimism, because you need that now. Right now is the time for you to allow this energy to work its healing within yourselves, within your cells, within your DNA. Find a quiet space sometime throughout the day today. Cast your fears and whatever doubts that you may have and your burdens aside. Put it out your human mind, because for the time being, when you come into this place today, I want you to visualize a silver stream of pure energy entering into your crown chakra, being touched by this 11 radiant silver healing that's coming down from your crown chakra, from the earth, from the elves, to heal your body. And although they can choose to do harm, they are here to heal you with this transference of energy that will bring you great healing forth from your physical pain. And if you want to choose that energy to come from the angels from the higher realms, you can call upon them as well if you're not comfortable with the elves. No one's forcing them upon you. But you can call from the angels from the higher realms to assist as well, whatever you feel comfortable with. But now is the time for your healing. It's time for you to seek out healing treatments that involve touch, like Reiki. And for those of you that do not already know, I am a Reiki master, and I do distant healing, and I have done it for a lot of my YouTubers. And I have come to the conclusion of your beautiful reading. Just know I am not going to offer an extended version because I did do the healing with you on this video, and I normally do not do that. So there will not be an extended version. However, I will be taking one question answers in its place, and I am open to that. All right, everyone. Let me go ahead and spray because this is some heavy energy. I feel it. I kick karma in the ass spray. It is a good karma to like, share, comment, subscribe, leave a donation if you feel inclined to, or you can purchase a gift from my Amazon wish list and it will appear on the channel. I now wrap you in my love and I cloak you with the light of Christ consciousness. And so it is, everyone. Namaste.